Welcome to another episode of Vineyard Roads. I'm Jack. We're going to do something a little different today. Today I'm going to show you how I like to make ceviche. Step one, of course, we got to have some bourbon while we cook. And today we're going to have Woodford Reserve Double Barrel. And I always like my bourbon on the rocks or on one giant rock, say, in a nice cocktail glass. I don't ever measure when I'm having bourbon on the rocks. I just pour and enjoy. With ceviche, you gotta have shrimp. We just grabbed frozen shrimp from the grocery store. I like them as big as they come, so we get the jumbo raw. I like to cook them myself. I think they come out a lot better that way. Thaw these babies out. Now in order to do that, I just use a giant colander, throw them in, pour cold water over them. We'll do that right in the sink. And 10-15 minutes or so, they'll be ready to work. We have this nice glass bowl. That's pretty much going to hold the ceviche. By the way, I forgot to mention, you're going to want to cook this about 3 to 4 hours before you eat it. The longer it sits in the fridge, the better it's going to be. But this bowl worked great because it has a nice lid, so that's the one we're going to go with. Oh, and before we go on, once again, make sure you keep running cold water over those shrimp. Get them thawed out. Next step, we're going to prep some stuff. So we got our cutting board, we got our knife. Let's do it. Usually the recipe is 2 limes, 2 lemons. But we're going to go with 3 limes and 3 lemons today because the last time we made ceviche, we said, why are there no leftovers? The limes are in. That's what it looks like. You're not going to get too much, but the flavor is really strong on limes and it'll come through. And usually with these, I'll go through and squeeze them twice. You just get a little more juice out of it. Now with the lemons, I'm only going to show you one just to save a little time. But I'll usually quarter these just so they fit in the squeezer a little better. And then obviously lemons have pits. So I throw one of these little strainers underneath and just squeeze in the juice. By the way, I should mention that the limes and the lemons were both washed and dried before I started working with them. All right, 3 lemons, 3 limes, all juiced up, no pits in there thanks to our strainer. You're left with this delicious lemon lime juice. Next, pour some of that water out of the shrimp. Get them thawing. Next up, tomatoes. You can use any kind really. Today we're using these natural sweet cherubs. It should be good. First though, bourbon. With these you just want to slice them small, cut them into small pieces. Again, this is going to be served later with chips. Next thing going in, 2 jalapenos. Don't forget, you want to keep thawing out those shrimp. Once they start getting a little loose like that, you're pretty much ready to peel. So maybe we'll take a break on the veggies and do that next. So here's the way I peel them. There's 2 sections to the tail. There's this little spiny thing and the actual tail itself. Take the tail off first. I use one plate for the shells. Peel back the shell here, grab it and pull. And your whole shrimp comes out of the shell pretty easily. Pro tip, don't throw your shrimp shells directly into the trash. Put them in a baggie of some sort and then take them directly out to the trash can, because your trash will not smell good if you throw the shells right into the trash. Trust me, I've learned from experience. When I cook shrimp, I like to coat the bottom of the pan in salt, make it a nice salt water boil that they're going to be cooked in. And by the way, ceviche is usually done with raw shrimp, and the lime juice and the lemon juice cook it naturally in the juices. Me personally, I don't like it that way, so I cook a shrimp beforehand, and we're going to show you how to do that right now. The water is about boiling. Before we do anything with the shrimp, gotta have some of the cooking bourbon. You want a nice, healthy, rolling boil. And then just simply add your shrimp. And then the most important thing, turn off the heat. Let your shrimp sit in the boiling water, depending on size, 3 to 6 minutes. And they will be perfectly cooked in that amount of time. Now the other thing you're gonna wanna do is get yourself a bowl of ice water. I haven't put ice in this yet, but once 3 to 6 minutes is up, we're gonna transfer the shrimp from the hot water to the cold water so we can stop the cooking process. And that will make your shrimp juicy. All right, the shrimp are ready. It's been about 4 minutes. We are going to just take this scallion, cut it up super thin. Next to go in, cilantro. Now, cilantro is kind of a pain, but it's so worth it in my opinion. All we do is just basically grab the leaves off the stems. You can actually use the stems too, which we're probably going to use a little bit of the stem that's in here. For the most part, you want the leaves. We love the cilantro flavor, so we tend to go a little heavier. You can put in as much or as little as you want. Chop these shrimp up and put them in the ceviche as well, but before we do, a little cooking bourbon. Sea salt, black pepper, and we're going to throw some parsley in there too. Needs to soak for sure, but that is going to be so good. in about 3 to 4 hours. There you have it, ceviche. I'll film a little later. Once it comes out of the fridge, we'll throw some avocado in. Let's take a look at the finished product. Oh, it smells amazing. The last thing to go in is an avocado. This is how I take care of avocados. Cut off the end. Roll it around the knife. Twist. Twist. Voila. And of course we went a little fancy tonight and served them up in a couple margarita glasses. Should be delicious.